turn. Call the meeting.
Okay, all right, thanks everyone. We're going to call this meeting to order for the Pullman School District Regular Board Meeting of November 12th, 2025. Thanks everybody for being here. I have not taken this role before, so we're going to see how it goes. We're going to start with the flag salute, and if Amanda could please lead us on that. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah.
We'll now read our land acknowledgement statement. Pullman Public Schools reside on the homelands of the Nimipu Nez Perce people. We express our deepest respect for and gratitude towards the original and current stewards of this land. We acknowledge our role in building mutual respect and connections to support current and future generations. Next, we'll move to approval of the agenda. And are there any changes to the agenda?
Just two changes to be aware of, and these should have been sent out to you earlier. We've added to the consent agenda October budget status report and records destruction log from finance. Those are the only changes to the agenda.
I move that we approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
The motion has been
It's been moved and seconded.
moved and seconded. All those in favor of approving the agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
Yep.
It's approved. All right. Move on to reports, correspondence, and programs. We're going to start with the PHS ASB report.
Oh boy,
Hunter,
a lot of people here today.
pressure's on.
Hi everyone, my name is Connor Scholes and I'm here for Pullman High School ASB. Over the last few weeks since the last school board meeting, we've been pretty busy planning stuff and also going up to Spokane for a leadership thing. Which, on that note, on Wednesday, October 29th, myself along with 6 other members of our exec team went up to Shadle Park High School for the GSASC council meeting. And when we were there, we shared ideas of how to invite people to events and get more participation in events. We're excited to bring these ideas back to Pullman High School now that we have had that meeting. Second, at the booster auction last Saturday, 11 members of our ASB volunteered to help out, and they helped sell golden tickets. And every year we do this to give back to the boosters who do so much for us, to help fund our dances, as well as helping us find sponsors for our Clash of the Combine stuff, which, while we're on that topic, we're making great progress towards planning that, and that'll be on Friday, December 12th. The girls' game starting at 5:30 and the guys' game starting at 7. For the event, we'll be selling 150 spirit packs, which will consist of a t-shirt designed by a student from our high school, and they're sponsored by Helena Chemical. And then included in that pack will also be other spirit items last year, have sunglasses, pom-poms, eye black, tattoo stuff. And those are also, all those items will be donated to local businesses. The proceeds we'll just be selling these for $10 each, will go towards ATVP, once again, along with the money from our coin drive. Lastly, with the holiday season coming up, we're having a food drive going to Pullman Child Welfare, and this will be going next week from the 17th through the 21st. And for this, we'll be decorating boxes tonight, donated by UPS and U-Haul, as turkeys, and having a class competition between first periods to see who can donate the most food, and then the winning class will get a party of some sort. I don't remember what the exact thing was. All right, I think that's all. Anyone have any questions?
Nope.
Awesome.
Thank you, Connor.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, we'll now move to board reports, and I'm going to go first with Dr. Maxwell on one board report.
Yes, so if we could have Nathan and Amanda come up front here, please.
And Craig, if you want to stand there. So
Go ahead.
oh yeah, so we're just, as a board, wanted to acknowledge your service as board directors, and I'll let Bob present some of our appreciation.
All right. So, come on, don't be shy. So Nathan and Amanda have spent nearly a decade on the board and have done just an outstanding job. And we'd like to honor you tonight briefly for all your work. And I don't think people always realize the amount of hours that you put in. And this is really a volunteer position. You don't get a whole lot of pay necessarily, but you definitely get to help us guide the district, and we appreciate you very much. So in honor of that, we have a few little things for you tonight. So Nathan, I'm sorry, but the plant spilled on this one, so yours is a little bit smudged, but here's some cards for you. Now for the next, we were trying to think of something that encaptured your servitude to the district, and you were both part of the original Kamiak. And so in honor of that, we're going to give you a nice frame picture of Kamiak. We had some nice little engraved things, but they got caught up in shipping. So we'll get these fixed for you, but again, it'll be customized for you. So you don't have to fight over them because they're both the same. And then with that, just a lasting memento is a plant. And these are very, very hard to kill, so don't worry about it. So, we forgo the flowers because they don't last, and we want you to have a lasting memory of your work here and your service for us, and greatly appreciate it. I greatly appreciate it, and we'll miss you both.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Lisa, if you want to say anything. as
Yeah,
well.
I'll just add to that, you know, personally, I feel really indebted to all the help and assistance and guidance that you've offered, and just knowing how to be a board member. I still feel very new to this, but also in reflecting the years that you've been serving, like, it's just been a lot. There's construction, there's the pandemic, we've had, you know, massive budget problems statewide where other districts have gone into bankruptcy, and the fact that our district is in a really successful point, I think, is absolutely a credit to both of you and your leadership, and I'm really grateful to have been able to personally learn from you during these last 2 years. So, yeah.
Well, all of those things, and you not only serve the Pullman School District, but you serve WASDA Board and other duties beyond the school to make not just Pullman schools great, but to make the whole state, had an impact on the whole state. So thank you for your work and effort.
Thank you.
So Lisa, don't go too far. So we also have Classified
Oh, yeah.
Employee of the Year, and I'm going to invite up Karina. Where are you, Karina? There she is. So Karina is going to do the primary introduction, and then Lisa will follow up. So you can invite them up too if you want to.
I can invite who up? Everybody? Oh, Reem, would you come up and join us, please? Thank you. So I don't know if the board had an opportunity to read this letter, but Pam wrote an amazing letter. And she couldn't be here tonight, unfortunately, but that means I get the opportunity to talk about Reem. And I'm so excited because I've worked with her for, I think this is 4 years now. She's part of our team, our special ed team at Sunnyside. And we couldn't do it without her. She is just loyal and respectful to everybody. Not only does she work in special ed, but she works on the playground with students and in the cafeteria. If you happen to drop off students in front of the school, she's out there greeting everybody with a smile. And she knows all the parents, all the cars, all the kids. It's amazing. Everyone. And she's, you know, she embodies a growth mindset. Not only is she always trying to learn but she's helping all the kids that want to learn. And sometimes in special ed, that can be a challenge. And she's just always kind and very respectful. She understands the power of building relationships, and, you know, she has really solid relationships with the students, and they're willing to do challenging things for her. So this is Reem, and she gets to be our Classified Employee of the Year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
extreme pleasure to get to present the 2025 Excellence in Education Classified Employee Award. This was very competitive, and it was such a compelling letter. We were so excited to hear about your work. So, this is for you.
Oh, thank you.
And we also have a certificate, and we'll want to get a picture,
Okay.
if that's okay.
Yes.
Should we do that right now? Does everyone want to come up for this?
Yeah, let's do it.
And then we'll also, if your favorite time, we'll get one with them. All right, we're now going to do the remainder of our regular board reports. Nathan,
No report this evening.
Amanda?
I have a long report, I'm sorry, everybody. Okay, so for the WASDA nominating committee, we've met a couple times in the last month. We were able to certify the first round of elections on October 20th, but there was a couple district areas that required a runoff election on the west side, and those elections were certified this afternoon. Unfortunately, DA10 wasn't able to fill all of our spots, so we're still looking for somebody to fulfill the nominating committee and the resolutions committee, if either of you are interested.
Okay.
Moving on, the curriculum advisory committee met last week and reviewed current policies and talked about some changes that might be happening at the high school level. They will be meeting again in December to go over those, and if they're passed by the curriculum advisory committee, then they'll come to the board in January, so you can be looking for those changes and updates. And then last week, I was able to attend the Sunnyside PTO meeting, where they discussed some of the past events, like the STEM night that they were putting on and getting ready for the turkey trot next week. They're also having a science and art fair following Thanksgiving, and they're currently running their fundraiser. Their goal is $10,000 to support events, teacher grants, clubs, and potentially a science assembly. And then finally, I'll save that for the community belonging update. That's all I have for tonight.
And I had the opportunity to attend the Sustainability Committee meeting on October 27th. Just impressed with the breadth of people across the district with concerns about sustainability. Anything from putting solar panels on the roofs to electric charging stations to composting programs. It's an active committee that does a lot to do that, and there's a bigger report coming from Bob later, so I don't want to steal any of his thunder, but happy to be on that committee.
Thank you, Greg. So I will jump into my report, and then we'll jump back to Lisa's report. So a couple of things I just want to mention. So tomorrow, Ryan and I will be going up to ESD 101 in Spokane. There will be 9 legislative representatives from the state of Washington. We will be having a discussion with them. There'll be 3 different groups with 3 different focus. I'll be leading one group, 2 other superintendents from Region 101 will be leading the others, and the legislative representatives will rotate through, and we will be working with them on what is working well as far as supporting school districts in the state of Washington, and what are some of the challenges that we still face, and getting a look at what this short legislative session will entail. And so we'll be up there tomorrow and talking with our legislative representatives. This time of year is so busy with all the fall playoffs basically going on this past weekend. Plays, concerts, STEM nights, PTA, PTO, booster clubs. So just about every night or every day, there's something going on. So highly encourage people to check out the school calendars, district calendars, because a lot of great things are going on, and you don't want to miss out on that. I also just want to take a brief second to recognize this past weekend, in addition to all the playoffs that were happening, Pullman participated along with the city of Pullman and Moscow School District hosting a basketball tournament put on by an outside group, not by the school district, but they used our facilities. We were working with Brian Daly, and they ended up hosting 57 teams. Part of the play occurred at LMS, Kamiak, Sunnyside, Park and Recs, Moscow High School, McDonald Elementary, Pullman High School on Sunday. 228 games in 8 locations. So this was the initial, and this was the Zion Bischoff Memorial Classic Tournament. And they're planning another tournament in March, I believe, and so we'll be working with them to help coordinate our facilities. So anyway, it was first time pulling off that big of an event, but if you saw an extra amount of people in town, that's probably what it was. So very happy to participate in supporting that as well. And with that, that ends my report. I'll turn it back over to Lisa for your report, or to continue on.
Yeah, thank you. I have no report tonight, so we will continue on to program reports. And a moment we've all been waiting for, we're going to start with the Sunnyside Elementary Showcase.
What?
I'll come back.
Thank you.
I forgot I had my regular report, but I'll come back.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Boy.
Oh. This is a test.
Thank you.
Oh. Well, you know what? Nathan Roberts could use a notebook.
Take one. Thank you very much.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh,
Take another.
all right, thank you.
Here, take it right up here. Thank you. Oh, you can give you a notebook? Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll have to find who it goes back to at the end.
This is excellent.
All right, welcome, and we first want to acknowledge thank you for having us, but also, can we get a round of applause for our stars of the show? All right, and we came tonight to present on our PLC work and kind of our next steps at Sunnyside, and especially in 5th grade, where now we've done some of the background work and it leads to student goal setting. Oh, it's here. All right, and then this is just a quote, and it's talking about having kids be part of and having the learning be seen through goals. And so kind of why are we doing this? In terms of our PLC and all of our PLC work in the district that you all know well, student goal setting is intertwined in there, and that's that next step. And it's a really structured framework that we've done with our kids. This is our second year doing it, and it really makes them have an effective, I guess, goal, but also tied to essential standards. And it makes them a part of their learning, and they are integral in learning.
And so then we work together as a PLC to establish instructional goals, and then we analyze student data and we design strategies that power students to set and achieve their own learning targets. And then, so as a PLC, we have done those top 4 bullet points, and so now we are working on empowering student agency and providing consistent feedback.
All right, and we're not going to slide deep so that the kids can go. But if you're ever interested or somebody asks, how do you start goal setting in your own classroom or as part of a team? Definitely, kids need to be involved in their goals and their creation. When we talk about promoting mastery goals over performance, it is what are the small steps to get to mastery? Incorporate that reflection, so kids are doing a reflection, not us all the time. Student accountability, they are in charge of asking for their exit tickets and passing their goals, and then we celebrate achievements, lots of prizes, try to get really funny ones, and little motivation, little extrinsic motivation. Okay, are you guys ready? Okay, loud and proud, right?
A goal is a desired result that a person plans and commits to achieve. Goal setting involves a plan of action used to motivate and guide a person toward the goal.
So why should we set goals?
It gives you long-term vision and short-term motivation. It focuses your knowledge and goals and helps you to organize your time so you can make the very most of your learning. It allows you to ensure your progress because you always have an endpoint to work towards and make your goal. It also helps you to achieve at your highest potential.
So there are two different types of goals.
One goal is a short-term goal, something you want to do in the near future. Like our weekly goals, we set goals on Mondays and do goal check Fridays. Or we can ask for a mastery throughout the week. There's also long-term goals. Long-term goals are which takes a longer time to achieve, like our math those goals.
So we make sure in 5th grade that our kids really understand what a SMART goal is. And so what is SMART?
First is S for specific, which means that we make clear and specific goals.
And M is measurable. We need to make sure that we're able to define a way that we can show our mastery. What is our measure?
A for attainable. Confirm your goals are attainable. Attainable is our next step in learning. Relevant. Verify your goals are relevant. They need to be based on the essential standards. And finally, time-based. Can it be completed in a week or a full note? How to set goals in 7 steps. 1. Clarify the result you want. 2. Set SMART goals. 3. Draw up a plan of action. 4. Input your goals into professional software. Also, our school notebook. 5. Create a timeline with milestones. 6. Put the plan into action. 7. Reassess your progress.
All right, so in front of you are some examples. We have our data binders and our small goal notebooks. And we're going to explain what our goal notebooks are and what our data binders are.
So the small goal notebooks are our weekly goals. We decide what our goals are, and we have to remember to get an exit ticket to show our mastery. Our goals, like we talked about earlier, have to be specific, measurable, and related to our essential standards, but broken into a little bit smaller parts. So we also have to finish it in our timeline, which is 1 week.
And so in our data binders, we have our reading section, and we have reading progress with our teachers, like weekly feedback. And then we have a math section, and we have student checked work and strategies marked with goals. And then we have writing. We have rubrics that we like highlight for standards. And then we have math. And in math, we have goal areas. Then we also have our learning goals.
Okay. And so in conclusion,
Goal setting is not just about identifying what you want to achieve, but also how you will achieve it and measure it.
Because of goal setting, we have been able to determine what we need to work on, build our confidence, improve our self-motivation, and challenge ourselves.
thank you. So at this point, you've had a chance to kind of look through some of our goal notebooks as well as our data binders, and we told the kids that part of the presentation is answering questions. She's really excited, so somebody have a good question. Answering questions, but also explaining anything that you might have a question about.
Any questions?
Oh, come on, board, don't let them down. Give us a couple, we prepped them.
I've got a question. Everybody kind of giggled when you talked about some of the rewards. What are some of the rewards that you've been working towards?
Okay, so Miss Bray got this thing, and they're like little poop slingshots.
They're very motivating and really funny. Okay, I mean, we're going into middle school humor. Middle school humor. Okay. Thanks, Brad. That wasn't the question, but awesome. Any questions about the goal notebooks or data binders?
Shay, I think I have your notebook, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So your goal, one of your math goals for Bridges was that you need to produce division and check your work, or you need to practice your division and check your work. So then tell me, how did you achieve that goal and how do you know when you got there?
So whenever we'll have like tests at like the beginning and end and like in between we like learn the stuff, we make sure that we can remember, or for that goal, I need to remember to like go through. But we worked on, instead of like reading each question and basically doing the whole thing again, we can like circle like maybe it's giving us a fraction problem. We can like circle our fractions and make sure we did the right fractions maybe. Or like we just like go through and make sure that we like follow the directions right.
Okay, and then can I hire all of you to come teach me how to set goals?
I hear they like poop slingshots.
Yeah. So you're saying they work for cheap?
Send you the link.
Yeah.
I will say, like in their goal notebooks, they do set weekly goals. They have their essential standards in their data binders. So we make sure that they're aligned to math or reading. And then they choose what their next steps are in learning. So you'll notice some of the goal notebooks might be extensions. And some of the goal notebooks are, Jacob asked me today, he was absent yesterday, so he asked me today, okay, I gotta write my goal, because we do goal Mondays. And he said, okay, what are we working on in math this week? And I gave him the small little bits, and he goes, okay, that's gonna be my goal for this week. So they are completely, what I love about our kids is they are the ones asking us, they are the ones really putting forth the effort. And we tell them all the time, it's not my goal to pass. I went to college, I'm good, sometimes. And so it's their goal, so how are they going to achieve their goal and be masters of their own learning? Any other questions?
Well, just a comment, Zach, the fall goal setting meetings, very appreciate the highlights there. I also enjoyed one of the comments you made about Miss Bray.
Oh, what'd you write?
I
don't know.
She is the GOAT.
No, the GOAT trophy, okay. Well, thank you all. If you ever have questions or want to come in and watch a Goal Set Monday or a Goal Check Friday, feel free to come in. We'd love to have you. Okay. All right.
Thank you all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, we gotta get our binders back.
Okay, let's see, what do I got?
Oh, is that one yours?
This one's yours? Yours?
I put your book in there.
All right.
Oh, that's great.
Is that yours? Oh, your name's not in it. Are
No?
you sure it's yours? If I need.
It's my number. 15.
Great job, great job. Forgot to give the rest of my superintendent's report.
Yeah, should we go, is it okay if we go back to that now?
We'll go back to that.
Or should I I do it after program
Yeah.
reports or right now?
Either way, it's fine. We can go through
How about we
these.
cycle it back with the community of belonging?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. That makes more sense.
All right, next we have a special education services update by Dominic Ventresco.
No pressure, Dom, but that was a pretty good presentation. So
I know. Not gonna top it. Just telling you right now. But we'll give it a shot. How's that? We'll let our team make their way out.
Stephanie.
Did you need us?
Left a bag.
Oh,
Oh,
Oh, that's mine.
That's Dom's.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Then that's okay.
Run!
It can be there.
Stephanie has your bag.
Yeah. All right. Good evening, team. I'm here to share with you our special education report for our. So tonight we're going to talk about four key pieces. We're going to start off with kind of where we're at current enrollment wise, and kind of how that's looking in some of our programs in our continuum. Then we'll move into post-school transitions, kind of what are we doing now and what are some future goals and strategies that we want to look into. Talk about some professional development opportunities that we're offering some of our staff, and then we'll finish up with our game plan for our parent resource partnership for this school year. So I realize that the font's so small, but current enrollment trends. So what I did was I took our total enrollment for October for the last 4 school years. One, because that was for us to be able to compare apples to apples and where we're at currently. You can kind of see that we have a steady increase over time, okay? Right, starting back in 2022 into 2023, we're increasing by about 30 kids, and then another 20. But then we had a bigger jump this school year. We increased by about 40 kids for our top October enrollment. This is our highest number that we've seen being able to serve students with IEPs. A big portion of, or a big reason for that big jump is we've had a lot of families come to our community. A large majority, if not all of this increase is new students joining our district through enrollment from out of town. So, yeah, big group come in. And then looking over here at our other graphs, these are some trends for our developmental learning centers. So these are our programs that both the top one is our elementary level, the bottom one is our middle school level. These are our programs that are serving our students with most impacted disabilities. And so you'll notice for our elementary level, this year we've seen the highest that we've ever seen since we've been able to start. A portion of this is due to families coming into our community and new enrollment. Another part of that increase is we did have quite a few preschool students transition this school year into kindergarten. Holistically, if we're talking our preschool students, we had nearly 20 students transition from our preschool program into our kindergarten this school year.
Oh, wow.
And so, yeah, it was the biggest number we've seen in quite a long time. And then looking at our middle level, we have seen numbers at this rate, but compared it to last year, where we were serving 5 students in our program, this year starting with 11, it's a big jump. So I wanted to be able to share that information to kind of reinforce later on when we talk about professional development opportunities. Post-school transition. So this was a great topic of discussion at our community engagement night, our community listening night, sorry. And so wanted to touch on some of the current practices that our high school team of special ed teachers are doing, and then we'll move into a couple future goals and points. So some of the things that our current team is doing. One of our main practices that our special ed teachers do is what we call consent to share with state agency networks. And so this is a compliance piece for us as special education teachers, to where we get to work with families starting in 9th grade to see if we can receive consent or permission from families to share contact information with our state level agencies. And what that does is it kind of springboards the conversation on what are some post-high school agencies and resources available both locally and at the state level. And so this happens at every one of our IEP meetings at our high school level. Another step that we've taken to support our high school students is back in 2023, we were able to add our 5th special ed teacher to our team. And that particular teacher focuses on being able to provide instructional supports in what we call our extended resource room. So this program serves our students that they need just a little bit more support than what a typical academic skills period could provide, but their disabilities aren't quite to the nature of our Life Skills Developmental Learning Center. Does that make sense? So we're looking to kind of bridge that gap, and this program is working to be able to do that. And so instructionally, this program works to provide some employment skills and employment-focused opportunities that are housed within our high school for these students. Another step that our team is doing is what we call a pre-ETS group. So pre-ETS, that stands for Pre-Employment Transition Services. This is a local county program that's part of the DBR. And so our team is partnering with Asokan County to be able to have a member from their DBR program come up to our school and provide a whole group instruction lesson on pre-employment foundation skills for our kids. And so it's another way for us to bridge with our outside agencies to be able to make connection and create opportunities for some of our kids to not only have employment opportunities within our school, but possibly branch out into the community as well. And then finally, our special ed team at the high school, since 2023, they've been able to put on an annual transition fair. What this fair is, it's a vendor fair that's been offering families information about community agencies and what is available locally after high school. And one of the big pieces of information this year that we were able to host was we did have some legal counsel there be able to share with families the ins and outs of guardianship and what that looks like for some of their students who are highly impacted. And when they turn 18, they become adults, what does that need to look like to best serve them? So that was a really great piece of information for our families. And so where do we want to go? So future goals. I'll start down at the bottom here. Develop teams and resources to streamline the sharing of community agencies with our families. So I want to pair this with our consent to share with agencies piece that we talk about, right? So we have that action happening at our IEP meetings, but through some experiences that I've been able to have with our Whitman County team, I'm learning that we get to be better about sharing what are these agencies and what can they offer our kids. And so thinking about how can we create either discussion prompts or can we create one-pager resources that our special ed teachers can easily fit into their IEP meetings to give our parents and families just a little bit more of that information that could help to foster that discussion. So I think that's an area that we'll be able to work on with our team. And then the next one is the big one, it's moving the mountain. Okay, it's developing a transition program that is dedicated to our adult students ages 18 and 22. This is something we currently do not have, and this is something that we are looking into creating in some form or fashion. Really the big focus of this type of program initially would be to create a separation for our students on their high school experience versus an adult learning experience. Because currently, right now, we are serving students in the ages of 18 to 22, but they're currently still embedded within kind of our high school system. And we've had some experiences to where some of our students in the past, where they were in that age, still embedded in that system, found it to be not as motivating. And so I think creating a clear separation on having an adult learning program to focus solely on, right, independent living skills, job skills, accessing community-based agencies, accessing public transportation, all those kinds of things is going to be an important step that we are going to take. So we're still in the learning and collaborating phase of this right now, but the good news is we do have a great group of students in this age bracket that we get to work with and be able to perhaps try some of these new instructional practices. So. All right, professional development opportunities. So this year, we were able to apply for the state RREI grant. So last year, that was our big grant that we applied for and received funding to support increasing instructional practices to reduce restraint and eliminate isolation. With the new budget that was passed by the state, they allocated a little bit of that money for an additional year of continued practice. And so we were able to receive some additional funding for this school year. A portion of that funds is going back to supporting our debrief practice from last year. So we're going to be able to continue that for some of our core teams, paid outside debrief time for this school year as well. And another portion that we're going to use the funds for are these professional development opportunities. So the first one is a STAR autism training. So going back to our graphs from the first slide, our elementary developmental learning center has seen a really big uptick in just our kids in our program. We were serving 12 kids, whereas last year we were serving 5. It's a big difference. And as we begin to learn the nature of our kids and their needs, we're noticing a large majority of them present needs within autism. And so we're going to work to offer our CAMIAC DLC team, that includes the teachers and all the paraeducators, a 2-day comprehensive training with STAR Autism Group. And then this is an effort to really be able to build on their capacity to enhance the structures that they already have built within their classroom. It's really to take the foundation work that they've already done and take it to the next level so that we can begin to support all of our kids in the different ways that they need. So that's one way that we're going to be able to use that funding. Another way is we get to continue to work with True Measure Collaborative. That was our partner last year during our RREI grant, to where they were able to come in and serve 3 of our schools and a lot of our special ed teachers in Paris. With that work, we're going to continue to work with them this year, but on a little bit of a smaller scale. So they're going to work closely with 2 of our teams. They're going to continue working with our Lincoln Intensive Learning Center group. That's our program that serves our students who have behavior needs. Okay. We do have a new lead teacher in that program, so we're going to be able to offer them some ongoing coaching and supports to continue to build up the program from the foundations structures that our PBIS TOSA has already begun to implement. So again, the goal with that is to give them that consistent touch point with a professional development. So, and then our second group that True Measure will get to support will be our team at Franklin. Really kind of thinking and focusing on being able to create student programming that's going to work to increase inclusive learning opportunities for some of our students. So. Okay, Parent Resource Partnership. So this year we're going to take a little bit of a different look at it, and we're going to try to use, what we are going to do is we're going to use Parent Resource Partnership as a stage to facilitate and showcase some of our partnerships that we're beginning to develop with Washington State University. So our first one that we utilized, we hosted WSU Roar at our District Community Connections Night that was held in October. Using this to be able to showcase, what is the WSU Roar program, be able to share with different families kind of what they have to offer, what are those opportunities looking like. And for the next one that we're going to have in the spring, it's going to focus with the WSU Inspire grant. So I began building a partnership with the College of Education at WSU, thinking about focusing on our pre-service teachers who are looking to have a special education endorsement giving them more robust skills around the back-end professional side of being a special ed teacher, writing quality IEPs and collaborating and running quality IEP meetings. It's been something that I've been able to notice as new candidates have come in and began working with us, is that those are skills that they don't necessarily have. And so this partnership is going to work to create an opportunity for our pre-service teachers to build those skills. And so how do we want to use parent resource partnerships? So part of this internal grant at Washington State is the initial step that we're going to do is use parent resource partnership to create a community feedback event. So being able to bring in different stakeholders, families, parents, teachers, therapists, everybody within our community to come in and offer us feedback on looking at these two particular realms, right? Writing quality IEPs as well as running well done meetings that have high levels of collaboration, right? And so we want to use Parent Resource Partnership as our stage to initiate that work and help drive what the rest of the grants will be able to fund, to be able to create and foster. So, okay, your turn. Questions, thoughts? Yes, Amanda.
I have two questions on the consent to share angle of things. Does it seem like the majority of families are interested in that program?
I would say it depends on the program that the student's in.
Okay.
For some of our students that receive academic skills, that's kind of a hit and miss. You know, especially students that are perhaps on a typical track post-high school. We definitely see a larger amount of engagement with our students that are in our DLC and perhaps in our extended resource program.
That maybe need a little bit more support down the line?
Yes. Yeah.
And then following up on that, one of the things that you said you were going to continue working on is being able to more easily share resources. And you said through Whitman County, so is there a Whitman County kind of level of things before the state level of
Yes.
things? Okay.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. There's resources within the county, and then there's also kind of more local resources to Pullman that we'll be able to share. But everything it really is funneled through the county first, in terms of that's where the programs are funded, and then the resources are being able to allocate. So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. Great work.
Yeah. Thank you. Greg.
Is there anything being done for principals? We got a lot of new principals now, and their role in an IEP meeting is critical. And I'm not sure that in the principal training they get much input on what their role really is. But
yeah, while we haven't created an opportunity for like a holistic kind of training approach, I am definitely working individually with our new principals on all their individual needs, and so we're collaborating constantly together. In those different pieces too. Great. Yeah.
Great. Any other questions?
Nope.
All
Thank you
right.
very much.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks, team.
Now we'll move on to the year-end finance report presented by Diane Hodge, Finance Director.
I'm convinced that's why Aaron's not here tonight. No, just kidding. Okay, I'm going to go over our year end, where we ended up, our enrollment, and I'm going to explain each of the funds. I think there might be a little bit confusion. You know, we have a general fund, capital projects fund, debt service fund, ASB, and a transportation vehicle fund, and what all of those can pay for. And then where we ended up, which is a little bit more positive than we had originally thought. But, let's see. Okay, our enrollment, we were up about 35 FTE from budget, but we were still down 46 from the previous year, 46 FTE, and again, FTE is full-time equivalent. So we were down from 23, 24, but at least we were above budget, so that helped get us through the year. And this is the general fund balance. This is where we ended up. The general fund is for operating costs for the district, your classroom, technology, anything regarding the operations, classroom costs of the district. That can only come out of general fund. So it's our main fund, it's our biggest fund with about $43 million of expenditures. And I'll get into a little bit further what all general fund can pay for. But we had a beginning balance of $4.2 million. Our revenues came in at $43 million. Our expenditures came in just a little bit higher at $43.7. So we did have an excess expenditures over revenue. I think this is the red button. Anyway, the negative 415, we want to get that to a 0 or a positive. But our budget was I want to say 1.7, 1.8, I could be off, but it was over $1 million. So keeping it at just the 415,000 expenditures over revenue was doing really well. And kudos to the entire district for just knowing that we do have a statewide problem and that everyone really pitched in to make that happen. So, but we do need to get that to 0, that's our goal. Here's our 2-year comparison. So again, we had about $1 million more in 24-25 versus 23-24 in revenue. Again, the majority comes from the state general and the state special. So all of that is state, that's what we get from the state. Local taxes are our local levy. And then of course we have our federal grants and just other miscellaneous dollars and other resources. This is our revenue summary. So 63% of our revenue comes from the state. I'm going to just say it needs to be higher, but that's what we get. Federal, our federal money grants 5% and 13% is our levy. So our description of expenditures by program is our regular instruction, which is where the majority of our money goes. And again, there's a description. Support services, I really like to emphasize support services because we spend 23% there, but it's just not on district office. This includes food service, transportation, insurance, which is $1 million, utilities, which is about $2 million, audit and legal costs, transportation, food service, everything. And then we have our compensatory programs, which is our title, LAP, transitional bilingual, and then other instructional programs, high cap and summer food service. It's kind of small, but this is our expenditures by program. Again, you can see regular instruction takes up 53% of our expenditures. And then we come in with support services. And description by activity, we have our instruction, instructional support, maintenance and operations, other services, which includes technology and motor pool, and then our district support, which is the board, superintendent, finance office, and human resources. So here's the breakdown by activity. Instruction takes 72% of our expenditures. And then you'll see district-wide support is $2 million. And then maintenance and operations, which is our second biggest at 12%. And then expenditures by object, again, this is where I wanted to come back to. This is what general fund can pay for. It's going to pay for your certificated salaries, your classified salaries, payroll and benefits, contract services, travel and instructional supplies, your MSOCs, material supplies and operating costs. That's all general fund can pay for right here. So again, certificated salaries are our highest expenditure, and then payroll second, classified staff third. This is a composition of where our ending fund balance comes in at. We have a restricted carryover, so there's state money that we get that we have to restrict in a special category for carryover, and that happens to be our state professional development. And then a little bit of that is CTE. And then we have our food inventory. The unassigned fund balance is anything above our 7.5% minimum fund balance. So at least we're still maintaining that 7.5. Capital projects. So capital projects is for land, construction. So if we sell the aquatic center, when we sell the aquatic center, that money will go into capital projects. When we purchase land, that has to come out of capital projects. That's what capital projects is for. Our revenue in here is from our local levy for our technology and our interest earnings. And then our expenditures came from the Camiant greenhouse technology and just miscellaneous building projects. Our debt service fund, it can only service debt. We cannot use this for anything but servicing our debt. And again, this is just from our bonds. Those were our revenues and those were our expenditures. The revenues come from a levy, or a bond levy. ASB, Associated Student Body, this is their revenues, expenditures. These are student run at the high school and the middle school level. And so clubs, activities, fundraisers. And this is the ASB ending fund balance by school. Transportation vehicle fund can only be used to purchase buses. We do not have a levy for transportation vehicle fund. And some people get the current levy confused, that, oh, well, we should be able to buy buses. No, we can't. They can only come out of transportation vehicle fund. The revenues come from our depreciation that we receive from the state. Our expenditures, we purchased an electric bus in 2024-25. We were supposed to purchase another bus, but it didn't get here before August 31st. If it's not here by August 31st, we can't charge it to that fiscal year. Any questions? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very thorough, thank you.
All right, next we have our Sustainability Committee update from Superintendent Bob Maxwell.
Thank you very much. So just want to reiterate that we do have a sustainability committee. We meet periodically through the year. We still have some open spots. So in particular, we like and encourage high school students in particular to join us, but we also would accept middle school students as well. Student engagement, that is one of our big focus with the sustainability. We work closely with the environmental club at Pullman High School, and these are some of the programs that we've worked with in the past, which was composting. You've heard a little bit about that before, reducing food waste packaging as well. We looked at, we're in the middle of native plant species on the PHS campus. I think there's a map a little bit later, but it is on the back side of the campus here. We're also looking at conservation as far as rainwater collection, sensor lighting, solar panels. We talked a little bit about that. Recycling, the collection and disposal of e-waste, which happens once or twice a year. And then vegetarian lunch options was a big topic last year. So I won't go on a lot on this because I know Justin presented a much deeper dive into our solar project. So again, but that is something that we're still interested in and still looking at expansion. EV charging, we did have a grant opportunity, and Justin gave an update on this as well. So originally, we were going to be able to do quite a few projects, but that has now been narrowed just to the transportation co-op due to unforeseen circumstances. But we always keep our eye open for additional opportunities and grants when it comes to EV charging.
Is the one at the transportation co-op for buses or for vehicles?
Primarily for buses, I believe, Justin, and maybe fast chargers.
We have fast chargers for buses, but then also added one for vehicles as we look to pursue EV vehicles in our fleet.
So the new one is going to be fleet vehicle. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So thank you, Justin. Appreciate it, and thank you for that question. Yeah. So again, the original transportation co-op was designed with the infrastructure to handle more additional charging stations. So we had that future thought when that facility was built. And so I'm glad we did, because I think that moved us up on the grant selection process. We're working closely again with Phoenix Conservancy and partnership. And so this gives you a better view. If you see that red outline, that's below the soccer field, or just above there.
Is that the new parking lot where they built?
Yeah, I'm trying to look at the picture. It's hard to see from here. Yeah. So, sorry, this is the back end of Kamiak, not the high school. So, no wonder that was like looking really strange. So, so we have a project at the high school, but we also have one that we're looking at behind Kamiak. And that outline in red is kind of very steep slope behind Kamiak. And so that is school district property. And we are looking at the possibility of working with maybe WSU landscape architect classes to develop a trail and then do some native plantings. We have some started on there, a windbreak in particular, but we are working to put that back to native prairie so we don't have to keep mowing it and maintaining it and spending a lot of resources, time, and energy and costs. So, so it's approximately about 3 acres. So that's one that we've had some initial discussions. Pullman High School, also in some of their steep sloped areas, we're working on native prairie as well, and in particular, monarch butterfly and pollinator project, and that's working again with classes. Green buildings compliance. I know Justin's given a presentation on this as well as when Joe Thornton was here when this first came out years ago. So this is new energy performance standards. This was Senate Bill 5722. So oddly enough, I know it seems like this was going to be way in the future, but now it's here. So June 1st, 2026, we'll have 2 for sure of our buildings that will meet those standards, which is Pullman High School, Lincoln Middle School. Oddly enough, Kamiak is our newest building, but does not qualify depending on what formula you use. So we are working to see how we can qualify, in particular, our newest building, which is counterintuitive because it has the most updated energy program and savings in it. So we are working on SES and JES, so Sunnyside and Jefferson. We think we'll meet those energy efficient standards because of new lighting that was grant funded. And that should bring us into compliance by the deadline. KES is probably going to be taking more look at it's the square footage is the issue with that piece. And so, and then later on, we'll be looking at Tier 2, which is Pioneer Center and the Transportation Co-op, which Transportation Co-op is relatively new as well. However, again, the formulas are based on square footage, which sometimes affects whether they're going to meet compliance or not. So stay tuned. I don't know of a whole lot of districts that are going to meet these standards right off the bat, but we are working on it, and I think we've got a better start than most school districts.
I have a question on this. Is it expected to have 100% compliance by those dates, or is it like 85% compliance?
Well, the way it's written, they're expecting that we're going to all be in compliance now for those tier 1 to tier 2 groups. We have a little bit more. I wouldn't be surprised in this legislative session if those dates may be pushed back. I forget what the number is, but there's a surprisingly large number of schools in the state of Washington that are between 80 and 100 years old, and
Yeah,
I can pretty much guarantee they're not going to meet the new energy standards. So we're not alone. So we'll have to see what happens, but we'll see.
Okay.
But we're doing our best, and I know everybody in the state, as far as superintendents and school boards, are looking at this going, this is going to be interesting. So, City of Pullman, they are doing a periodic comprehensive plan update, and Justin and myself have been working to review this along with the Sustainability Committee to look over the plan to provide some feedback to the city. And so we've had our first round of reviewing it. I met this past week with the city, and they're going to send us a little bit updated document, and then we're going to meet again in March and then sometime in the summer. And so we are working with them on their comprehensive plan. And again, some of this goes around pathways, sidewalk, is it walkability to schools when they're looking at low-density housing, high-density housing, where that would be in the city's comprehensive plan, making sure that we have access points to schools is one of our main interests, I should say. So, and we can always use more parks. So it's one of came out of sustainability. And that's it for that brief update. So happy to take any questions if you have any.
Questions? Nope. All right,
Okay.
thank you.
Thanks, Bob. All right, I think I'll probably stay up here because I think I missed my,
Yeah, we're gonna move to the community of belonging update, and Bob's gonna go first to finish a portion of the superintendent
Sure.
report. I don't know how that works in a minute. Okay.
all right, so, sorry, in all the excitement, I missed a majority of my report, so I apologize for that. So, I'll go through this, but again, I want to recognize our board, again, received the award for Board of Distinction, and so they'll be recognized next week, actually. So congratulations to them and the hard work that they do in making Pullman Public Schools a great place to be, work, and play. Conference week, just to give you a little bit of information from October. But again, as usual, no surprises with elementary conference attendance. It's all in the 90s, no matter what school you go to. Heavy turnout, which is greatly appreciated. And I actually had 100% at second grade at Sunnyside, so congratulations. Nice. So middle school had a strong turnout at almost 70%, so that's really good for a middle school. And so again, that shows the interest of parents in the learning of their children. Broke it down a little bit. This is by, if you look, this is a report out of Linkit. So Linkit looks at attendance, and this includes unexcused and excused together. So this is a total combined. So if you look at the green, that's satisfactory. Yellow is at risk, and if it was red, that would be what they consider chronic or a concern if you're in a red zone. But again, this is by grade level. Pretty much good results. If you go to Jefferson, again, some at risk, some satisfactory. Kamiak, across the board. Again, that's one of our larger schools. Sunnyside, you see a lot of green, but still some at risk. When you move to middle school, this is actually good, even though it says at risk in yellow. You also have to remember that that includes field trips, that includes sports activities. We have a lot of students involved in sports, so every time they go to a sporting event or an activity or or not a field trip necessarily, but again, that can count as an excused absence, but it is included in this data. Again, to high school, you see some what we call red. Not surprising that it's sophomores, juniors, and seniors, but again, you can attribute a lot of this to sports, considering last week in a cleaner example of football, soccer, swimming, volleyball. I'm probably forgetting one. So, but again, something that we watch and we work to make sure that we try to encourage our students to come to school, except when they're sick, and the importance of being in school helps with their growth. Graduation rate, again, you can see that we're about 93.8, I believe, with the 4-year graduation rate. You can see the state is usually in the low 80s. They have not updated their information, so my guess is it's probably going to be in the low 80s. But we typically have a higher graduation rate, 4 years. We also have a 5-year graduation rate because we do have students that go longer. And you can see that's 95.7%. Again, the state hasn't reported that in the last 2 years, so they're a little bit behind on that. But again, showing that our goal is to get 100%, and we're very, very close. We'll continue to work with those students to see if we can get everybody to graduate on 4 years or 5 years. And that's the end of my report.
Thank you. We'll turn to Amanda for the community of belonging update.
Yep, I was just gonna briefly mention that the DEIB task force met last week to go over an annual review and discuss future directions. And I will go into more detail on all of that, because I have a discussion item tonight on the same topic.
Great. And Bob, did you have anything else on community of belonging?
Yeah, just one other for community belonging. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that it's also Native American Heritage Month is November, and so we're doing a lot of social media posts regarding that. And again, it's one of those important things that we want to make sure that we do note. We do have students, Native American, that attend school, and we are on the homelands of the Nimi Nez Perce. So just wanted to mention that. Other than that, no.
Great, thank you. We'll move on to the public comment portion of our meeting. The public comment section of the agenda provides an opportunity for individuals or members of the group to address the board on educational issues. If you intend to provide public comment this evening, you may register to speak using the sign-in sheet located near the boardroom entrance. Do we have anyone signed up? All right, we will skip the rest of our what happens with that and move straight to the consent agenda. To expedite business at a board meeting, the board approves the use of a consent agenda, which includes items considered to be routine in nature. Any item which appears on the consent agenda may be removed from the consent agenda by a member of the board and voted on separately. The remaining items will be voted on by a single motion. Would anyone like to remove anything from the consent agenda this evening?
I move approval of the consent agenda.
Second.
We have
Motion and a second.
It's been moved and seconded. All right. Any questions on the motion?
Nope.
Hearing none. All those in favor of approving the consent agenda, please say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passes. We'll move now to action items. Action items have been previously discussed by the board. The board will now take action by motion, and we first have policy 3425, accommodating students with adrenal insufficiency, which was presented to us at the last meeting.
Thank you very much. So this was a discussion item 2 weeks ago, and again, this is a new policy that allows for the care of students with adrenal insufficiency by parent-designated adults. This meets the requirement in the RCW, and since this was presented, I've not had any questions. This has also been vetted by our lead nurse, Michelle Hyatt, as well.
Any questions?
I move that we approve 3425, accommodating students with adrenal insufficiency.
Second.
All right. Sorry, guys.
It's been moved.
It's been
That's
moved.
fine.
I just need to write the "it's" part. Yeah. It's been moved and seconded that we approve policy 3425, accommodating students with adrenal insufficiency. Any questions on the motion? All right, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those, any opposed? Motion passes. We'll move on to item B, policy 5000, recruitment, selection, and evaluation of staff. And again, Dr. Maxwell.
Yeah, thank you very much. So again, this was reviewed at the last school board meeting, but again, Board Policy 5000, recruitment, selection, and evaluation of staff. This has been revised and updated with the WASDA model sample, and again, been identified to align with those standards that they're recommending. And I have not had any questions since the last presentation.
Are there any questions now?
Nope. I move that we approve policy 5000, recruitment, selection, and evaluation of staff.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded that we approve 5000, recruitment, selection, and evaluation of staff. Are there any questions on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the motion passes.
Thank you.
We'll now move to item C, 2025-2026 school improvement plans presented by Ryan.
Yes, thank you. So, as you're aware, every year, each of our schools is required to create a school improvement plan and present those to the board. And then from there, discussion sometimes takes place at those presentations, and then we submit them to the state. This is part of our board policy 2005. This year, to try to go along with our theme of consistency, you probably saw that all of the school improvement plans use the same template, which was a big lift for us, and we did it. So I'm really proud of our staff for doing that. And the other big push was that the school's improvement plans followed along with the board goals. So when you establish your board goals at our board work session in August, then our schools use those to help shape their plans. So in theory, our schools are aligning their practices to meet the board goals. So in early October, we had our elementaries present to us, and that was at Jefferson Elementary. And you got a good look at all those presentations at that time and discussion. And then just a couple weeks ago, we had the high school and the middle school present their plans for you here. Since those, I haven't received any additional questions. I think most of your questions were asked and answered at the time of those presentations. But if you had any at this time, I'd be happy to answer any.
Are there any questions?
No, I think all the schools did a really great job, and I would like to move that we approve the 2025-2026 school improvement plans.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the 2025-2026 school improvement plans. Are there any questions on the motion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we are moving now to discussion items. Discussion items are presented to the board for discussion. If they need action, they will be brought back at the next meeting, and we're starting with item A, Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Belonging Task Force Review. And Amanda, you are presenting that?
Sure. So Erin had requested that I put together an update for tonight's meeting, and with some help, I was able to put together an annual review. Like I mentioned, the task force met last week, and they went over the annual review, and just a quick recap for everybody. The task force was created by the board a little over a year ago in response to some community feedback, and it's comprised of PHS students, one staff member, one administrator, several parents and community members, and recently was added a disability awareness representative. The tasks that were assigned by the board last year were review current events, activities, and materials on DEIB efforts in the Pullman School District. This is still in process, but they have moved forward on quite a few things. The second, oh no, that one is complete, I'm sorry. The task force has completed this assigned task and is now focusing on evaluating the effectiveness of existing efforts and exploring ways to expand or improve them based on stakeholder feedback collected through a survey. The second task was brainstorm ideas for community partnerships to aid students in need or to improve equitable access. The task force feels like this is still in process, but they have done things like the Community Connections event. So even though it is in process, it has also seen action. The third task was develop ideas on how to promote and create the context for DEIB conversations among staff, students, and with the community. And that's also still in process, but has also seen action because there has been continued trainings for staff in the district, but there still needs to be some more, so they're still working on that. We did give them kind of a side task to discuss the Pullman High graduation regalia last year, because that was brought forward to us by the ASB, and we wanted their feedback on that as well. They reported back to us, and so that has been completed, and at this time, the board has decided not to move forward with making any changes to the PHS graduation regalia. So that's kind of where we are right now. In working on these tasks and gathering data, the task force conducted a survey deployed to staff, LMS, PHS students, and families, and they received 470 responses, of which 83% of those were from students. So that was like a really great turnout for a survey. In addition, so that was one data point, and then in addition, the task force has also met with the EDGE group, and which was a very constructive conversation, and I think that they're looking to continue kind of partnering with EDGE to move forward with solving some of the issues that are being brought forward. So the data based on these fact-gathering actions were that disability awareness and HIB processes are the greatest opportunities for growth and improvement. So the consensus of the task force is working in the direction of developing family advocacy and resource networks to benefit the school communities, And so the task force is requesting that their next task assigned be explore opportunities to develop family advocacy and support networks across multiple areas. And they kind of wanted to say multiple areas because they don't want to constrict it yet. It kind of is going to be addressing whatever comes up. So some of the ideas that they're thinking might include HIB instances or IEPs and 504 plans or additional DEIB type situations. So that's kind of my update, and I don't know if there's any sort of discussion or feedback that the board would like to contribute to any of that information.
Yeah, so our goal, if this is a discussion item, is to discuss that progress and whether we agree with that, and then also if we want to move on with new tasks, including the one that's been requested, is that right?
Just any sort of feedback.
Yeah.
And then, based on the discussion that we have tonight, I would actually request that we do move this to an action item. The task force is gonna be meeting before our next board meeting, and so this would kind of be able to allow them to keep the ball rolling on their actions, so they don't really lose momentum, so that would be my request.
I would move that we make it an action item this evening, the diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging task force review.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded that we move the diversity, equity, inclusion, and belonging task force review to an action item for tonight, which means that will come after the rest of our discussion items. Is there any other discussion we want to have at this point about that, or does it all wait for later?
Move it to an action item.
Okay, and then we'll
come
discuss
back.
it.
So
Okay.
they have to take a vote to make sure
Yes,
they
okay,
want it
so-
as an action item.
Yeah, any questions on the motion to move it as an action item? Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, motion passes, so we will return to that as an action item after the rest of our discussion items.
Thank you.
Our next discussion item is the purchase and sales agreement of Harms Place LLC and Pullman School District, with Justin presenting.
Good evening, everyone. Here to discuss potential property purchase. There's 30 acres out on the west end of town, if you can picture where Crestview is and where it stops. Out in that area, we have 60 acres currently. This 30 acres would join with that 60 and give us 90 in one spot. There are a lot of advantages to making this move. One of them is just improved access. So as we know, we've looked at maps. The current property we have is a little bit landlocked. It's out there by itself. If we were able to add this land to that, that gives us access directly to the road. Another really important piece for us with this is utility access. Again, the distance right now from the current property that we have is pretty far removed from utilities. This would bring us right up to the road, right next to utility access. Would be a huge advantage for us. As we know, when we're going to do work, build a school or anything on some property, the further away that those utilities are, the bigger impact it has on us cost-wise, and this would be right up against it. Also, just with our strategic planning and looking forward, this property is within the city limits. It's $20,000 an acre, which is a fantastic price for this property. And as Diane mentioned earlier, it's capital projects. And so capital project money can only go towards capital projects, which includes the purchase of property. And so we do have funds available to make this purchase, and it would be a really wise future move for our district. It would put us in a really good spot to have those 90 acres to be able to do any number of things with as we move forward. Happy to take any questions.
I just wanted to make some clarifications. We also, well, in light of a press release that came out a few days ago from Pullman Radio News, suggesting that they don't know where the money is coming from for this, in addition to the capital projects fund that we have, which has money. We also have some money coming in from the sale of the aquatic center.
Correct.
Which requires us to put that money back into land.
That's also correct, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so the idea is to spend part of that, not all of it, because we also do have to do some improvements to the land to make it access to the public, accessible to the public.
That's also correct,
So that's
yes.
kind of the idea of this.
Yes, and thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, that's part of this, is this will, as the aquatic cell is finalized, that money will come in, and then we're dedicated to help with the encumbrance to replace that outdoor rec land, and this would help us meet that goal.
Okay, awesome. And then also, there were several pieces of property that have been looked at, and this is what is the best price, value, location, like it's got everything that we need.
It's got everything that we need, like I mentioned, it's the closest, utilities are the closest to this piece. Adding this with the 60 that we already have gives us a vast number of opportunities in the future, and the price was excellent for this property at $20,000. Yeah.
I have a question as
Yeah.
well, which is mostly just with the idea of growth. We don't know exactly what the district's future is going to look like. We've had pretty consistent level enrollment for a bit now. What are some of the, potential projects that are coming up that, like, as a district, we're going to have to address? Thinking of like Sunnyside,
Sure,
some of the
yeah.
things where what are some of the potential uses of this property?
Potential use of this property could definitely be a new Sunnyside school. It would be enough acreage that we could even look further down the road, decades down, where we would maybe want to put another middle school out on that land as well. You could easily have an elementary and middle in that area. Also nice to have some land to potentially sell someday too. Would also be really nice, as we know that's a great investment. And while we have the land right now, we can continue to lease that land and let it be farmed, which is also a great thing for us in the district as well. So lots of opportunities on that potential purchase, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Justin.
All right, next we have the 2025-2028 Pullman Education Association Bargaining Agreement, presented by Dr. Maxwell.
Nice 3-year agreement there, Bob.
Yeah, so, well, very excited we've gotten to this point. It's been a long time coming. We've been spending a lot of time, but, so this is the first of 3 CBAs I'm going to quickly review. We have entered into a tentative agreement, 3-year, with PEA. I want to make sure I'm on the right one, so yes. So again, this is not all-inclusive, but I just wanted to point out some of the bigger pieces, and I know you've had an opportunity to look through it. But again, it includes a revised salary schedule for the next 3 years. New language regarding instructional coaches. Before, we may have referred to them as TOSAs, teachers on special assignment. Well, they're really not on an assignment, they're actually coaching. So new and revised language regarding employee safety. New and revised language on assignment transfer and vacancy, new and revised language on reduction in force, updated caseload language, clarifying language regarding preparation time for elementaries. That's going to be phased in over the next 2 years, and so the last year will be decided with a committee. So that'll be a committee of teachers and district administrators working together to figure out how we're going to achieve that goal. So that'll be a partnership. Evaluation language, student growth goals, that was updated by the state, and so we just wanted to get that clarified in this new collective bargaining agreement. And then adjustment to allow one of the professional development days prior to start of school be used for classroom prep. Currently, it's a half a day. This would be a full day. And then some minor grammatical changes, language clarification, that not as substantive. But happy to answer any questions you might have or clarifications.
Any questions?
I just want to say nice job negotiating team.
Yeah,
You know,
team effort, and again, the association worked very hard as well, PEA and us together on that. So I think we came out with a really good, fair contract for everyone.
Yeah, great to see 3 years. Why don't you just stay there for the next one, which is the 2025-2028 Pullman Classified Educators Association, the paraeducators, their bargaining agreement.
Yeah, so again, you're going to see a lot of common themes. So again, revised wage schedule for the next 3 years. Also new revised language, student discipline, employee safety, work year, optional hours, clarification on emergency and climate weather conditions, supervision of students, student information, staff development and training, leave without pay, some clarifications around that. These were all common things that we wanted to work on together to get some better language. And I think we came up with that. So again, kudos to the paraeducator team as well. Revised paraeducator evaluation. So we revised that. It's really mainly titles. It's not substantive necessarily, but to let you know, it was revised. Revised stipend amount for paraeducators, and then addition of monthly mileage reimbursement. We had some employees, we realized that travel that were not getting that reimbursement, and so that was corrected. And then some minor grammatical changes. So happy to answer or clarify any questions you may have on this particular tentative CBA.
Anyone questions?
Okay.
All right, let's move to item E, the
Well,
2025-2028 Classified Educators Association Agreement.
Yeah, so this is ESP. Just to let you know too, these are all going to join under one association moving forward, or collective bargaining group. And so, but again, you're going to see some not as many changes, but a familiar. So looking at a revised wage schedule. Also, that was probably the biggest change to this one. And again, it's trying to get to that balance between percentages and steps. I won't bore you with all the details, but again, it's trying to get that to a spot where there's a little bit more consistency to the schedule for our ESP group, and that's the educational support personnel. There was an increase in vacation accrual, so a few more vacation days. And then addition of, again, similar to what I just stated in the previous one, some custodians that have to travel between buildings, especially some of our night custodians. And so making sure that they are compensated for that travel time as far as mileage. And then just some minor grammatical changes, not as much in this one, but this one was really just focusing on that revised wage schedule and a little bit more vacation time.
Any questions?
I just wanted to say really quick, just what a great vote of confidence it is in the administrative team that you were managed to get all of the collective bargaining units on a 3-year contract. I mean, I know it's not an easy negotiation, but I really think it demonstrates just the success that you and your team have had in managing the districts. I just wanted to say, nice job. It's like a triple play there.
Great leadership.
Well, thank you very much. And again, it's a combined effort. We got a great team here in the school district, and the associations were great to work with as well. And so not always do we see eye to eye on everything, but that's the way it works. And so, but I think it's good for everyone, and I think in these times of uncertainty, having some certainty for a few years is comforting. And so I think we all had a vested interest in, I think, finding some commonality and just having a little bit of comfort that something won't be changing, seems like every 6 months. So I think there is a vested interest and appreciation for something. So, but again, the negotiation team, which many of the people sitting in here were a part of, and they did a great job. And I will say I really do appreciate the board as well for their support, because it's not always easy. And, negotiations, it's been a long process, but again, I think a very fruitful process in the end. And we got a fair contract for everybody, so, and it's sustainable. And I think that's the most important part. So, thank you.
That's great, thank you. All right, we'll move on to 6212 charge cards with Diana.
Okay, this is coming at the recommendation from our last audit. Our state auditor wanted us to update our policy based upon current practice. Our policy before was pretty generic and really didn't give any guidance. And so they wanted us, before the next audit, to update this to current practice. And so this is current practice, and I think it will suffice for what they're looking for. And then we also kind of created a procedure to go with it, just so, you know, it kind of gives a little bit more detail. But yeah, so this is at the auditor's request, and it's pretty much just sets up what we do.
Any questions?
Thank you, Diana.
Okay.
Can I ask
go
one
ahead, yeah.
question? Yeah, I was just, does this change any of the procedures we've been doing, or just kind of gets it written down more specifically?
It just puts it in writing. So every year, they review our procurement cards, so pretty much everything they do, they look at our policy that goes with what they're auditing, and they need to match, and they didn't feel like it aligned, and so their recommendation in the audit, which I think was their only recommendation, is that we update this policy to align with practice.
So we were doing everything just great,
Yep.
it's just a matter of being written down.
Yeah, it's just so that they can, when they audit it, it's lining up.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yep.
All right, we're now going to return to, as an action item, the Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Belonging Task Force review.
Okay, so just to recap, what I am asking is that the board approve the next assigned task for the task force be explore opportunities to develop family advocacy and support networks across multiple areas.
Any discussion?
No, I move that we approve the Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Belonging Task Force suggestions, review, really.
Second.
All right, it's been moved and seconded that we approve the Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Belonging Task Force review and new task. Any questions on the motion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, motion passes, and we will move on now to informational items. Informational items do not require action or discussion by the board. The items are included in the agenda for the board to review and may be moved to the discussion item section of the board agenda by any board member. Informational items may include board procedure updates and non-substantive policy updates. And I do not know what happens next.
Does anyone?
Does anyone have questions or
Sure,
want to
since-
move an informational item?
I do not, no.
All right, thanks. Thanks, everyone.
Hearing none.
Hearing none, we just move on? Is this a just moving on one? Okay, sorry, that's what threw me off. I was like, I don't know. Okay, we will move on. We now have executive or closed session. The board recesses into an executive or closed session by motion stating how long it will last and if action will be taken. Following the executive or closed session, the board president reconvenes the regular meeting. We're expecting about 15 minutes. Okay, so right now it is 8:08. Is it okay if we do like till 8:30 maybe, just to give everybody a minute to,
Yeah, give a few minutes to get everybody out.
so we'll
No action will be
recess until,
taken.
and no action will be
No
taken
action.
after the closed session.